Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Jagdtiger Prototype. It's a Tier 8 German tank destroyer. It's located on the east spawn of Sand River Encounter, and it's under the command of heavy999 of the H999 clan. I guess that he's the commander. Game on. Well, there's actually two prototype Jagdtigers in the game. There's the 88 one, which of course has got an 88mm gun, and of course there's this one, which is basically the prototype of the Jagdtiger, which was armed with the 128mm. So this one is actually capable of quite a bit more damage than the previous one. It's actually, when he's managed to get a hit on the enemy, a Nomad. The 128 is capable of 490 alpha, 246mm of pen with standard AP, and with the premium APCR 311. Well, yes, he's being fired on, and the thing is that he's bouncing rounds, and the Jagdtiger did have very thick armor at the front of the vehicle. Now, why has Wargaming brought out another version of the Jagdtiger? Well, there were a couple of prototypes brought out before they actually did get around to finalising the design. The 88 Jagdtiger was actually because they ran out of the 128mm guns. Oh, and the Arty styled in on us as well. We've landed in a Tier 10 game with Tier 8 tanks in it. Yes, they actually ran out of the 128mm, so they had to use the hulls with 88mm guns instead. They've got a much faster fire rate and a fairly good DPM, and it is a premium in the gift shop. Whereas this one, well, I don't know if it is on sale. I haven't seen it on sale. I have seen them in the game though. Okay. Now the Jagdtiger, well, it was the heaviest tank that was actually in common use with the German Armed Forces. It's also very, very powerful, but the thing is that most of these tanks were actually lost because the people who were actually put in command of them weren't very experienced, and they made silly errors, like they turned around to rechange their position, and in doing so they exposed the weak rear and sides of the vehicle, or alternatively they forgot to put the gun locks on when moving about, and it actually damaged the aiming mechanism. Now he's got 40 rounds? I think it is 40 rounds of ammo to play with, so he needs to be careful he doesn't blow all his ammunition, but he's trying to fire at the well-known firing positions for tanks on this map, and he expects somebody to be up there. Now the standard reloading time is 12.46 by the book, but he's got 11.87. Now he should be able to rack up quite a lot of damage with that 490 alpha, especially with the reload time, because it's similar to the Scorpion in many ways. Oh, yeah, that looks good. Nice hit on the pattern. It's a low roll though. Now I looked up the comparisons to actually check this out. The Tier 10 Jagdtiger is actually capable of, looking at the figures, 560 alpha. Yeah, took me a little while to find that one. And of course it's still a 128mm gun. It's got a much faster shell velocity though, which does make a big difference. So the DPM for the original Jagdtiger, 3,074 hit points per minute, whereas this one will actually do only 2,358, and the Jagdtiger with the 88 gun will do 2,944. So you can see the original Jagdtiger is much more powerful, but the 88 is not far behind. Now, as you know, Heavy999 is a regular contributor to our channel. He's actually sent in quite a few replays in the past, and we saw this one with the 2 games. I thought that you might like to see how the Jagdtiger Prototype works. There was only 2 prototypes. This was one of them. One prototype actually had the Porsche hull. The other one had the Henschel one. This is the one with the Henschel hull. Good shot. Oh, he got a fire as well. Oh, he's burning. He's burning. Is he going to get the kill? Well, the Arty on our team also got a shot in there, but it looks like he survived. Get another one. Got another enemy. Oh, no. Oh, he did! Amazed. He managed to get the shell to drop just over the dune and got the kill. Okay, he's decided to roll in as fast as he can. Keep the frontal armor to the enemy. That will block the shots. There's only 3 enemy left in this game, and one of them's up there. Can we get a shot? Yes, he gets him. Nice kill. Only 2 left. One to our right, and the other one is right the way down in the south, so we're not going to be able to get near him. Our teammates are already... Oh, no, he actually just killed one of our teammates. So CS52 list down there. And he is now the only player left on the enemy team. So everybody's piling in, and by now they're probably shouting mine, mine, mine. And actually, this one has a less powerful engine than the original Jagdtiger. If I remember correctly, they have something like 750 horsepower, whereas this one only has 700. And that's the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for heavy999 in the Jagdtiger Prototype. He actually managed to get a 5 for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle, bruised the medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 6, and his win rate from the game was 3,856, which is Super Unicum standard. So it was a very good game in a sense, and yes, he did get quite a bit of damage. Not a lot of kills, only the 1, but it was very efficient. Let's have a look at the stats, the team scores. Didn't get the highest damage. That went to a Type 71 on our team. Got a high caliber for 5,259 hit points. But the second highest damage actually went to the Type 68 on the enemy team. 3,686 hit points. And in third place, we've got heavy999 with 3,561 hit points. So, yeah, very good first try. When it came to kills, though, it was the Heshpan who managed to get the most. 3 kills to him. And then 2 kills went to the Type 71, the T30, and the Super Conqueror. And on the enemy team, their CS52 Liss and Pattern Tank both managed 2 kills each. But there was only 3 tanks who actually got kills in that game. So, yes, I think they weren't a very good team overall. When it came to heavy999, obviously we saw there was only 1 kill in the game. But when it came to base XP, look at that, he's right at the top. Because, of course, remember, he's only a tier 8. He got 1,148 base experience points out of that one. The second was the Type 71, who managed 1,043. And third place, we've got the Turtle One, who's got 1,009. But remember, the Turtle One, if I remember correctly, is tier 8. And the Type 71, if I remember correctly, is tier 9 or tier 10. I can't remember if it is tier 9 or tier 10, which one it was. But I have a feeling it is the tier 9 version. So that's why he didn't get as much XP, because of course he was only hitting tier 10 or tier 8 opponents, and well, not only hitting those, but he wasn't getting any extra XP, which of course heavy999 was getting. He fired 13 rounds, got 6 direct hits, 6 penetrations, 3,561 hit points, of which 2,957 were at more than 300 meters, so most of the damage done at long range. 4 hits received, only 1 of which actually penetrated, 2 non-penetrations, and 1 hit by way of splash. 390 hit points of damage, blocked by armor. 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 1 killed, 423 hit points of spotting assist. I think that spotting assist. On a premium count, he actually earned 120,817 credits from this game, mainly down to the fact that this is a premium vehicle, so obviously it does earn more in the way of credits. He got 65,000 for a reward for completing a mission out of that one as well. He also picked up 8,782 experience points from the game, with a 6,888 mission completion bonus. So yes, first game, he says ace, sweet gun when it works. Yes, well, it was an efficient game. He did get a lot of damage, and he was doing long-range shooting. But yes, I think he's right about the gun if it does work. But also, some of the targets he was aiming at were disappearing quickly. And so it was very lucky for him to get some of those shots on target, especially the one on the, I think it was Shrek, which was disappearing underneath that ridgeline very quickly. In fact, it had disappeared by the time the shell hit it. And yes, he did pen it. So a nice first round, third on damage. Let's have a look at the second replay. In the second game, we're on the north spawn, or west spawn, you might say, of Malinovka. Game on. Well, I believe there is a mistake in the game already, because somebody's actually noticed that there's a machine gun port on the front of the Jagdtiger, and Jagdtigers never had machine gun ports on the front. In fact, they were completely flat. So, yes. In fact, there's only the driver's periscope you can actually see in this mod. Oh, good shot! Low roll, 473, but the E3 took a hit, and it looks like it went right up his rear as he was trying to run away, or is he cutting across the field of fire? Oh, he got him again! A high roll this time, 561. He's pulling back as he goes, but targets are disappearing rapidly because, of course, they're seeing these hits and they're actually slightly worried. In fact, the E5 that he was firing at wasn't cutting across the field. It was actually coming towards us. So that should be a bit disconcerting because he's actually to our right now. Okay. Looks like we're going to go into the forest and shoot up at the tanks on the hill. It's another tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it, of course. Because, of course, we're looking at a tier 8. If you want to see a Jagdtiger, there is one at the Tank Museum at Bovingdon. And in fact, actually, it's one of the tanks which has got the, I think it's, well, open hatches at the back, so you can actually look in. I think they over-engineered the Jagdtiger, actually, to be honest, because it really didn't have a very powerful engine, not for the weight of the vehicle and the sort of gun it was carrying. They kept trying to design tank destroyers and tanks which were incredibly powerful and completely up to date, but what they should have been doing is trying to build tanks that were reliable, that would keep working, much in the same way as the Shermans and the T-34s were reliable. Now, somebody's knocked those trees over, and he's trying to get closer out of the ridgeline, but I'm not sure it's the right thing to do. Now, it does have 7.5 degrees of gun depression, and it looks like the T110E5 is actually headed directly towards us. It looks like he's cutting across the field, but he's just trying to get to those rocks. Okay, we could hit him now because he's behind the rocks. Just see the top of his turret, and he takes a direct hit and a high roll for 510. He's got support because the T-54 is coming up. The E5 though is a tier 10, so we're getting extra XP every time we hit him. I think he's just behind the rock now. He's got a bit of it behind the rock. Okay, we've got another one coming up. This time it's in the M46 pattern. Lovely shot, high roll again, 528. He's racking up the damage. And now we should be paying attention to that T-54. In fact, I heard the other day in a certain conflict that's not too far away, a very rare T-54 was actually found on a battlefield, and it was actually destroyed by a drone with a RPG round. Yeah, it's rather sad actually that these rare tanks are now being destroyed. They're being turned into lumps of metal. But, well, what can you say? It is a reliable tank, the T-54, but these ones are being torn to shreds. Another hit, and this time round 537. So he is getting quite a lot of high rolls, and this tree is actually quite effective. That guy keeps coming up, and he gets another one through the lower plate for 462, low roll. He's racking up, he's now up to 3,000. The T-54's got nowhere to go except straight across our field of fire. He's maneuvering, but it's not going to help him, and he takes another hit, this time for 552, and he's a one-shot now. We will kill him, and the kill shot actually goes to the 430. He's behind us, but we have been forced to back away as he came forward. We need to get closer now because the E5 is still there, and he might be trying to get close. This is actually quite a good use of this tree being knocked down. Of course, we didn't knock it down, but it's actually quite a good idea to knock a tree down like this and use it next to the buildings next to the village. So, what are we looking at? We're looking at an E5, an IS-3, an M46 Ripper pattern, and possibly a Chimera. The Sheridan's turned up to our left, but he's actually down in the dip, so he's right next door to the waterline. And we really shouldn't turn to the left to look at him, because if we do, we expose our weak armor. The armor on the sides of this is only, if I remember correctly, 60 millimeters. No, it's 80 millimeters. The frontal armor is 250 though. That's why they can't get through. They got another high roll, 578. He's now popping 4,200 hit points of damage. Well, that was the Ripper pattern dying. A blind shot this time. Now try not to be no, don't overexpose yourself by turning the side on. But he is racking up the damage now. This is a very good game compared to the last one. Last one he was sniping at a distance. This one he's basically holding a position and just swatting anything that comes. He's decided to get closer. Oh no, we just saw enemy Arty is down in that corner of the map near where the Chimera shows on the minimap. And we've been proximity spotted, and there's the IS-3. One shot takes him out of the game. Don't back up. Go forward. Oh, well, the E3's gone. Okay, the Death Star managed to kill the E3. E5, I should say, not E3. Okay, Chimera. He did get it. It's a high roll for 493, but we did take a hit on the ammo rack, and that was from the Chimera. He thought about staying for a second shot, but it didn't really work out to his favour. Now we've got another one coming in. There's the Sheridan. Now he is a fast mover. Wait for her there. Oh, he got him! Amazing! 420 hit points. And the Sheridan goes down to the G-Saw 1010. That means there's only two left. And I think he's headed directly towards the enemy Arty, the M53, M55. There's the Chimera. Gets him in the belly. And that means there's only the Arty left. The M53, M55's trying to run. He's right down by the water. I hope he doesn't drown. Oh, he does drown himself. Oh, what a loser. But that was a great game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was another ace tanker, the heavy999 in the Jagdtiger Prototype. He managed to get a fire for effect in this one, as well as a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 6. And he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game, as well as the tanker sniper for doing that at a distance of at least 300 meters or more, at least 8 shots, 85% accuracy. And look at the win 8. That's a massive improvement. 8,256. If you remember the previous game, 3,856. Didn't get any medals in the previous game, But boys, he got medals this time. Yeah, he really was going for it. And I think he's got the hang of this tank. In the right circumstances, it can be quite deadly. Let's have a look at team score. Well, yes, he easily got the high caliber, 6,128 hit points of damage in the end. The second highest scorer was the E75 in the enemy team, only managed 2,169. And the third highest was the VK7501K on his own team with 2,025. So basically he was dominating. But then he is a good player, heavy999. When it came to kills, yep, he got those as well. 3 kills to him, 2 kills to the Object 777 version 2 and the Object 430. And on the enemy team, only 1 tank managed to get more than 1 kill, and that was the T110E4. And only 4 players actually managed to get kills at all in that game. So yes, a bit overwhelmed again. When it came to base XP, he's got that one too. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,588 came in this one. 1,002 came to the Barask. So 2 tier 8 tanks actually took on the tier 10s and beat them solidly. The next highest scorer after that in third place was the GeForce 1010, who only managed 883. So yeah, that is a pretty convincing win for heavy999. He fired 15 rounds in this game. He was more adventurous and more bold. Got 14 direct hits on the enemy, 13 penetrations, 6,128 hit points of damage, of which 2,475 were at more than 300 meters. So yes, he did fire at least 8 shots, and he did get 85% accuracy. We can see most of his damage wasn't done at long range. It was done at close range, but it was very efficient. He received 4 hits from the enemy, only 1 of which actually penetrated, and that was the shot from the Chimera that went through the side armor. Now, I did say the side armor is fairly weak, 80 millimeters, so you don't want to expose your sides. You want to keep your face to the enemy, and ideally keep the enemy at a distance so you could just pulverize him. 3 non-penetrations, 750 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 6 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were killed, 166 hit points of damage assistance. Now, in this game, he actually got 78,854 credits as profit, but this one, he managed to get 12,148 experience points out of it, and that was including 9,528 for a mission completion. So, yes, doing very nicely on this one, indeed, and you could say that he's come a long way, but there was only a few days difference between this game, and the last one. You can see here, a few hours actually, not a few days. You can see that the previous game actually took place on the 8th of February at just 5:30 in the afternoon, and the subsequent game took place at 8:30 in the evening. So the same day, not a couple of days later. So it only took him a few hours to get the hang of the Jagdtiger Prototype, and now he's using it very efficiently. So yes, watch out. If heavy999 is on the enemy team, you're going to have a hard time. But yes, he'll be the one you need to take down if you're going to win. But I don't think you're going to, because if he's in the right tank, he will take you out. So a very good game there. Very interesting to see the Jagdtiger Prototype, seeing what it's actually capable of. I've got 2 prices for this Jagdtiger. In one of the columns on Tanks GG, it's a few thousand less than the actual price that we're seeing for the other one. Now, I'm not sure if there was a money off offer or if it was being sold cheaper for a short period of time. But certainly, if you can get it, do, because this is one of those Jagdtigers, one of those tank destroyers, which is just so efficient. Because with that 128 and getting 490 alpha, yeah, you're going to cream the enemy. Hope you enjoyed the replay. If you did, please give the video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.